All right, today we are diving into Jack London's short story, A Wicked Woman. And we're going to see how a simple, almost funny misunderstanding can create some seriously brilliant drama and, reveals some pretty deep truths about people. So, how on earth does a perfectly innocent woman convince herself she's wicked? Well, to get to the bottom of that, we have to meet the two people right at the center of the story. They're from totally different worlds, and when they collide, well, that's when all the fun starts. So in one corner, you've got Loretta. She's a young woman whose whole personality is built on this almost unbelievable innocence. And then, in the other corner, we have Ned Bashford. This is a guy who's so sure he's seen it all, he's actually built his entire life's philosophy around being cynical. And the difference between them is just, wow. It's night and day. Loretta is all potential, right? But she's completely living in her sister's shadow. The story calls her a pale orb, just reflecting somebody else's light. Ned, on the other hand, is this jaded philosopher who's totally given up on finding any real truth in the world, especially when it comes to women. This quote right here, this is the key to understanding Ned's whole deal. For him, trying to find some deep, ultimate truth is just a long sickness. So to protect himself, he's just decided to worship appearance, to take things at face value and never, ever dare to look any deeper. And you gotta understand, his cynicism isn't just him being in a bad mood. No, it's a carefully built defense mechanism. He's probably been hurt looking for truth before, so now he thinks, hey, it's just smarter and safer to be superficial. It's his shield against getting disappointed. Okay, so this is where it starts to get really interesting. Loretta gets sent away to a place called Santa Clara, supposedly to get over some guy. But by stepping out from behind her sister for the very first time, something pretty amazing starts to happen. I mean, her journey is just completely transformative. She goes from being someone's reflection to becoming her own source of light. For the first time ever, people are actually paying attention to her. She's learning new things, she's forming her own opinions, and she's discovering she has a will of her own. Basically, she's finally becoming a person. And while Loretta is blossoming, something really fascinating starts to happen to our philosopher friend. Ned finds himself totally captivated by her. This woman, who he should have just dismissed as another appearance, suddenly feels incredibly real to him. All those intellectual walls he built, yeah, they're starting to crumble. Right as things are getting good between them, everything just gets thrown into chaos. A letter shows up from Loretta's ex-suitor, a guy named Billy, and it sends her into a total tailspin. So Ned finds her just sobbing, and when he tries to comfort her, this is what she says. Can you imagine hearing that from the person you think is the purest soul on the planet? It just hits a switch in his brain and triggers all of his old, cynical beliefs about women. His mind just immediately jumps to the worst possible conclusion. The philosopher in him is gone. And he's replaced by this guy whose deepest fears just seem to have been proven true. His desire to protect her gets all twisted into this grim, heavy sense of duty. And this, right here, becomes the central mystery of the whole story. Both Ned and, well, us as the readers are left wondering, what could this sweet, innocent girl have possibly done that was so awful? What was her big crime? So after a lot of pushing and a whole lot of drama, Loretta finally spills the beans about her wickedness. And let's just say it is not at all what Ned or anybody else was expecting. Yep, that's it. That's the whole thing. Her entire mountain of shame, her belief that she is a wicked woman, all of it comes from one simple little kiss she shared with her ex-suitor, Billy. See, the problem wasn't the kiss itself. It was this manipulative lie that Billy told her. He literally just made up a social custom to pressure her into marrying him. And because she's so profoundly innocent, she totally believed him. She thought she broke some sacred rule and was now just wicked forever. And in that one single moment, it's like a light bulb goes off for Ned. Everything just clicks into place. He sees her absolute innocence, he sees Billy's cruel manipulation, and he sees just how completely ridiculous his own dark assumptions were. His whole philosophy, this whole idea of being superficial out of profundity, is just shattered by the simple, kind of silly truth. He drops all the cynical pretense and, just overwhelmed by how pure she is, he passionately proposes right there on the spot. So why is this reveal so good? Why does it work so well? Well, it all comes down to a brilliant literary trick that's woven through the entire story: irony. The story just flips expectations upside down for every single main character. I mean, think about it. Ned, the cynic who worships fake appearances, falls for the one person he thinks is truly real. Loretta, who's convinced she's wicked, proves just how innocent she is because of that belief. And Captain Kit, the guy who sends her away to stop her from getting married, he's the one who accidentally causes her engagement. It's perfect. And through all this irony, London is also kind of poking fun at some bigger ideas. He's making fun of intellectual snobbery, right? Showing how Ned's big, complex philosophy just melts in the face of a real emotion. He's mocking the ridiculous power of fake social customs that people just invent to manipulate each other. And yeah, he's taking a little jab at the relentless matchmaking of characters like Mrs. Hemingway. So at the end of the day, this story uses one big, comical misunderstanding to ask some huge questions about truth, about perception, and about what we choose to believe is real. And it kind of leaves us with this final thought to chew on. Did Ned really give up his philosophy? Or did he just find an appearance of innocence that was so convincing, he finally mistook it for the real thing?